Welcome to another episode of By the Numbers. I'm Renee Smith.
And I'm Michelle Fleming. And that is a huge calculator. I just got to say it.
Isn't that cool?
Before you say anything, it's like, that is huge.
I know. I love this calculator.
Is that like for us older people as we get older?
Probably. Big keys for manual dexterity and big numbers on the display. But we're not starting with the calculator today.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm going to put it aside because we're going to work again with our concrete.
Okay, that's good too.
Now, again, we know that most parents aren't going to have base 10 blocks at home.
Put some out here.
But we're going to put some out there. Actually, I'm going to tell you a number. We're going to switch it around, and I'm going to actually tell you the number in its word form, and I want you to build it for me.
Okay.
Okay? I think we'll start with 321 today. So you have 3 of the hundreds flats, 2 of the tens, and 1 of the units cube. Okay? If I were going to ask you now to go from this concrete, which, because most people aren't going to have these at home, we're going to actually start with the picture form.
Okay.
321, what would that look like? Could you draw that for me, please? You make those nice, tiny little squares. Okay, 300, because
this is
these,
100.
These are 100.
These are tens.
These are
and
tens.
That's 1.
And that's a 1. So now you've already jumped ahead and made it into 321.
Yes.
Okay, the number that I said out loud.
I know another way I can make it, though.
Okay, show me how you could make it besides that. Oh, wow, she's just made it. Oh, my goodness. You could, because each of those tens grouped together would make a 100. You're
so
right.
now it's still 321, but it's 122 tens and 1 1.
There you go. So there's lots of different ways you could represent this same number.
This
even
is the
in
more
picture
standard way that we're used to seeing.
Right. This is the standard, and this is the standard way we would write the numbers rather than out in place value. The other thing that we would want to we want to do with students, and I'm going to let you play with it, even if you don't have a big one at home. I'm sure most people have this, or on their computers they probably have a calculator.
You know what's really nice about this is because just the other day someone asked me if my arms were getting shorter because I couldn't quite hold it out far enough
to read.
So I like
All
this
right.
one.
So the other thing we want kids to learn to do is start to use some of the technology, and obviously a calculator a lot of people do use, but it's not something that we just know innately how to do. So I would ask you then to display the same number using the technology piece. So could you enter 321? And we can prove to everyone that that is the same amount as we had with our concrete, with our pictorial, with our written form, or our place value form. So it's
could we also do it, instead of just entering it that way, could we have also, like if I cleared out and said 300 plus 20 plus 1.
So you could do the place value as well with the addition operation. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's just another way to represent and help your kids start to build those connections between the different forms of numbers.
Very cool. I'd never thought to use a calculator on it. So.
Well, they have to learn it sometime. And they don't just, like I said, that's not just something that we know how to do. So it's just good practice for kids to start to play with those.
Well, and I like the fact that they're still understanding it. They're just making that connection piece. It's not like the calculator's
doing the work
for them.
Right. Absolutely. Because we
know
don't want to do that.
The calculator is only as smart as what you put into it.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of By the Numbers.
And for more episodes of By the Numbers or other shows, join us on mykidstturn.com.